We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. The home of the Warriors, live on 2K Sports. Well, it was the Golden State Warriors in their last game, a loss to the Clippers.
Yeah, and really lucky that they weren't blown out in that game, because I just thought the effort was lacking.
They just couldn't hit on anything that worked for them, no matter what approach they used.
Now the starting group for the Denver Nuggets. Gallinari sits outside at 3 with Fareed at the 4. Boudier out there with Harris. Thompson misses. So for the Nuggets, their last game, a loss to the Utah Jazz.
Guys, it was like there was a lid on the basket in that game. No matter how many plays you make at the defensive end, hard to overcome such a... lack of production offensively.
Well, you know, the high-quality shots were few and far between for them, guys, and they have nobody to blame but themselves for that. You've got to do a better job of working harder to put up points.
Guys, you will not see too many of those kind of threes in transition. And one thing the Nuggets have been good at for several years is crashing the offensive glass. Last season, they were 3rd in the league in offensive rebounds per game.
Fareed with a clean look, and Denver again with the bucket. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for Denver?
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
And that'll be Golden State as it goes out of bounds. Warriors retain possession. And Thompson kicks to Curry. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. And the Nuggets, as you mentioned, do attack the offensive glass. Greg, that was a good point. And Clark, they create a lot of extra looks that way.
Well, they were 4th in the league last season in second chance points, Kevin. You run the risk of getting destroyed in transition if you crash the glass every time, though. But the Nuggets crashed the glass and still managed to get back on defense.
Here's Curry. Denver able to drain the 3. To halt the run, and again, no good by Golden State.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Here's Jokic. He's coming off a 10-point game against Utah.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
And so here is Golden State, searching for their first points of the game and going against Denver, their first meeting of the season.
And they didn't have much of a problem with these guys last season, and quite frankly, you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, you know, these are two teams clearly on opposite ends of the continuum in this conference. I mean, this is a team they rightly feel they can beat every time they take the court with them.
And so the ball out of bounds. Bogut touched it last.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The Nuggets have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field to start out the game.
And what a first year it was for Steve Kerr and the Warriors. It was the best debut as a new coach ever. 67 wins. He also established a franchise win total in his first year.
Here's Harris. Another 3 for Denver. On our old partner, Steve Kerr also got a chance to coach the West All-Stars, and Greg, his record-setting debut season with the Golden State Warriors. Clark, he really hit a lot of big milestones early.
Well, none of us are surprised at his success.
No.
I mean, Steve will be the first to tell you it was because he was surrounded by excellent assistants. I mean, that's one of the underrated aspects of being a good coach is You've got to have a good staff, and Steve has that.
Excellent point. And here is Curry, following Kenneth Faried's three. Here's Moutier, another three for Denver.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Well, the defense just hasn't pressed up to deny any of those looks, guys. I mean, they're hanging back and getting picked apart.
Now here's Curry. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
But it didn't deter him from attacking defensively. His pressure was terrific. He also got 3 steals in that game. That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
Yeah, Greg, you know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here, and every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
And the best way to do that when you're missing shots is to get to the foul line. Be aggressive, get to the foul line, and knock down some of those freebies, and the tide can turn for you.
Now here's Green, looking for his first basket still in this one. They need this one. No good at the rim.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Last season, Draymond Green taking over the starting power forward role in Golden State. Last season, David Lee was injured, remember, in preseason. Green was inserted, and he's been terrific ever since.
Absolutely superb. A former second-round pick, his emergence has fueled this team's rise to greatness.
Out of bounds, Denver takes possession. Some changes for Golden State. Festus Ezeli, he's jacked in for Bogut. Barnes comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. And a switcher also for Denver. Barton is checked in. Took him no time at all on that one. Gallinari's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Green, no luck.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Offensive rebound. Fires the three. Count that one. He's got 12.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
A clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
Here's Faried. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
And going out of bounds, last touch by Barnes.
Well, let's look back to last year's Nuggets while we've got a moment here, Kevin. 4th and second chance points, 7th in rebounding. And also, they were in the top 10 when it came to fast break points. I mean, they weren't afraid to play the game at a fast pace and run a little bit.
And just go revisit those numbers in terms of second chance points. That was elite, and they weren't shy about sticking their nose in there and going after the ball.
Laverne, he's checked in for Denver. Chandler comes in for Faried. Livingston dishes to Green. There's a good screen. Shot clock at 6. Wow, way off on that one.
I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's gone wrong with him this quarter. He's really fallen off.
A nice shot by Gallinari.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
Livingston passes to Thompson. The dive for the ball. To end the run. We're at the end of the first quarter, and what a blowout already in this one. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Nuggets, this has been the game they wanted to have.
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and you know, they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
On the floor for Denver as we get going here in the second quarter. Chandler and Gallinari are the forwards. Will Barton is out there with Moutier, and it's Laverne in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. They ended the regular season ranked first in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league. Remarkable.
And here is Iguodala. Wilson Chandler getting his 3 to go. And Denver again with the bucket.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been humming quietly but very efficiently.
Here's Barnes. Wilson Chandler making shot. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. Last season for the Warriors really dominated from beginning to end to lead the league and Greg, both offensive and defensive efficiency.
And Kevin, a lot of people knew the Warriors were good at offense. I mean, but they've been equally as good defensively over the past few seasons, kind of flying under the radar for whatever reason. Not the case going forward.
And it's the Warriors with the ball. After Gary Harris made that last three-pointer. It's Curry outside. Rebound by Nurkic.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
And he gets it to go.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
Now Chandler, after the missed 3 from Stephen Curry, got a piece of it. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. And while we've got this moment here, now let's take a look at last season's leaders in converting turnovers into points. The Warriors, number 1.
Yeah, I mean, the best in the league at forcing those miscues and then capitalizing at the other end. Their defense led to their offense.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Arthur's checked in.
And, you know, looking at Andrew Bogut, he's been one of the game's best centers. I mean, obviously injuries have saddled him a little bit over the years, but he's made it through 67 games each of the past 2 seasons.
Now, here's Nurkic. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Here's Curry. Here's Spates to stop the drought. Outside for Curry, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Spates.
All right, a chance to look at the stats for Livingston, how he performed last season. Averaged 6 points per game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
No good.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Yeah, it's palpable, Greg. I mean, clearly you can see the frustration. And it's understandable. I mean, right now they're on the wrong side of a big run.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. And the Warriors with some changes. Green comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Klay Thompson in for Sean Livingston. Jakar Sampson's checked in for Denver. Now here's Thompson. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Clippers.
Yeah, but he was the ultimate two-way player. Defensively, also doing a great job. Couple blocks in that game as well.
And now the Nuggets, fast break. Fires the 3. Nice shot by Arthur.
They are wreaking havoc on him with the three-point shot here.
The defense has no answer right now. Even when they've gotten a hand up, it has not seemed to matter.
Here's Spates. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Tanking is something that all teams that are out of it tend to do. I hate that word, Clark, but it seems to be the one used by a lot. Nuggets didn't really try to hide it last season either.
Well, you know, it certainly looked that way. Right around March, they just started sitting key players for no real reason. They framed it as rest, but it didn't quite look that way.